Good evening, VV Nation. My name is Ryan. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the 6 p.m. presentation. I've got a special treat for you tonight. Tonight, we're really going to hone in and focus on the power of the VectorVest 7 software to find upcoming stocks. The whole point of tonight's video is we're not looking for stocks that are hitting new highs right now. We want to find comeback stories, turnaround stocks, right? And how we're going to do that, we're going to utilize a very powerful proprietary indicator named RT, or relative timing. Works just like an oscillator. 0 to 2 scale. Above 1 is favorable, below 1 is unfavorable, right? So if it's above 1, it's in the favor of the bulls. Below 1, favor of the bears. So we're going to jump over to the VectorVest 7 software and use UniSearch. UniSearch is a powerful search tool where you can find stocks that are, contributing or showing certain attributes. And the attribute we're looking for is RT crossing above 1 since yesterday. So these stocks just got a favorable rating when it comes to the short-term price trend. And I ran the search, and a lot of these stocks are not, big name stocks. So these might just be some good fishing candidates. And the search is very simple. I'll show you how to make the search if you have access to the VectorVest 7 software, so that we can use this going forward to find potential stock candidates, when you go fishing for stocks, right? So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in the VectorVest 7 software and show you exactly the strategy I'm talking about. All right, big event coming up. We got the Las Vegas 2-day investment seminar coming September 20th, 21st, 2025. You can achieve the VIP experience in person. Just go to vectorvest.com/Vegas to register now. All right, we're in the UniSearch part of the program. Now I've got 2 light items here. The first one here, I selected time of search. Went to RT, just go to stocks, capital appreciation, select RT, greater than 1. So as of right now, the trend is in the favor of the bulls, or at least showing signs of that. However, the second line item, 1 day ago, stock RT relative timing, less than, just chose less than, and then went to 1, right? So these are looking for stocks that were in a downtrend, or RT was below 1, unfavorable for the bulls, but now has just crossed above 1. Early signs that the stock is turning around. And there's some interesting picks here. We've got MedP up 153%. I'm not going to say necessarily jump in that one. We'll take a look at the chart. We got BYD. Boy, this is a popular company here, up 4%. Wesdome Gold. We got Homebuild. Nail. This is a bullish ETF on home builders here, up $8. UFP Tech. Natural Resources. Priority Tech. Atlas. Veolia. Genpact. So a lot of these companies, not very well known, right? Now, they are sorted by VST. This is overall combination of value, long-term price appreciation potential, safety, just an indicator of risk, RT, relative timing, looks at the short-term price trend. That's the focus on tonight's video, right? And if I scroll over to the right, and we take a look at the industries here and sectors, you can see very diversified group of stocks in the list. So this might just have some potential to put, some fish or some stocks on your radar. So let's go ahead and jump in the charts and see if any opportunities are actually presenting themselves. All right, first stock is the big mover in the list, going to be MedP. We see the gap up here, but look at this big upper wick. I'm not too much of a fan of jumping in a stock right now that's gapped this much with this much of an upper wick. Not seeing a whole lot of follow through with today's price action here. The stock greatly overvalued. We only value the stock at $242. It does have rising earnings, growth rate, sales growth rate in positive territory. Not the best candidate. So let's continue to see what other fish popped up from the search here. Here we got byddy. This is Boyd Co. Ltd., the Chinese EV manufacturer. You can see from the prior high of $120.30, retracing from that with a gap down, finally hitting a series of new lows, coming in around $90. Nice pivot off that gap up today at 101. RT just became favorable at 1.05, showing that the trend is starting to turn around and become favorable for the bulls. I do like this position better. We value it at 127, so it is undervalued. We've got rising earnings, rising growth rate and earnings coming in at 24%. Sales growth rate rising as well over the last 6 months, coming in at 34%. So this might be a stock to put on your radar. Next stock here, we've got Wesdome Gold Mining. This is a mining company here, WDOFF. Look at the valuation. This is one of my favorite chart patterns. Value on the rise, price action on the rise. But we do see a little bit of a rollover here with value, and we do see a little rollover here with price action. We're still retesting price action from this 20-day EMA. We retested it from the top end several times, but now it looks like we're retesting it from the bottom end. I'd like to see price action get back above that 20-day EMA before getting too enthused on this position. But look at the earnings per share. This is the leading 12-month earnings forecast. On the rise here, coming in at $1.36. Growth rate in earnings 43%, sales growth rate 75%, and the stock is greatly undervalued. So when you get price action above the 20-day EMA, this might just be a good position to get into. Now here's an ETF on nail, so it's not going to have the forecasted data here. This is going to be bullish on home builders and supplies. Look at the gap up. Full body candlestick today. What's the enthusiasm? Pulte Homes is soaring today, bringing the home builders ETF to the upside at $64.04. We can see the sell-off here. So you're not buying this at a high. We're seeing momentum, a series of higher lows here. It looks like a double bottom here. These two lows coming in right around the same level. Let's take a look and see this low at 43.43, while this low came in at 44.18. So this is a series of higher lows and higher highs. That's the definition of an uptrend. And RT just crossing in favorable territory above 1 right now. Let's take a look, scroll this back up. RT comes in at 1.52 with today's momentum. You want confirmation? Take out the prior swing high. Other than that, looks like this is the beginning of an uptrend when it comes to nail the home builders ETF. Here's a healthcare company, undervalued as we can see. Price action below that 20-day EMA. So a little early on pulling the trigger. Even the 3's below the 8 right now. This might show some optimism in the future. So let's take a look. As far as the earnings per share, nice steady stair-step fashion. Lower left, upper right. Growth rate doing the same thing, coming in at 22%. Now the sales growth rate has faltered over the last 6 months, but still comes in at 41%. So I would keep the stock on your radar. I'd want a little bit more optimism for the bulls before just pulling the trigger. You know, maybe look for some confirmation with the 3 above the 8 or getting back above the 20-day EMA. But everything else looks pretty good on this position here. We've got a buy rating. Do have a little bit of a pause here. Currently a hold rating. That's what I'm saying. Wait for a little bit more confirmation before pulling the trigger. Here's Unfi, United Natural Foods. I like this big jump up in the valuation, putting the company in undervalued territory. We currently valued at $32, trading at $28. We've got rising earnings, rising growth rate in earnings, sales growth rate on the rise. The numbers coming in double digits for the earnings, 26%, sales growth rate 7% right now. So I do like this position generally speaking. Now we are diverged away from that 20-day EMA, so I wouldn't necessarily rush to jump in this position. You might be able to get a better price. Otherwise, if you are well disciplined, put a stop on this position. It does have a fresh buy rating as given just today. Here we've got Priority Technology Holdings. We see the stock greatly undervalued. We value the company almost $14, $13.83, currently trading at $7.27. We can see price action weakness here being below that 20-day EMA, all the moving averages in a bearish manner. So it is early on this position right now. But with earnings per share on the rise, growth rate on the rise, sales growth rate did falter. But hey, still positive territory. We got 38% and 9% respectively. The company's undervalued. Now, we do have a sell recommendation on this stock. I don't like recommending, catching a falling knife. So I'd like to see some optimism to the upside. Maybe get price action above that 20-day EMA or go back to hold for an early trigger. Here we got Veolia, VEOEY. This I like. Value on the rise, price action on the rise, fresh buy rating as of today. Let's see if we could just take out the prior swing high, coming around $18.18. Right now, we're just 8 cents away, so let's get some confirmation. Otherwise, look, the moving averages is just shaping up for the bulls. Price action just got back above that 20-day EMA. We've got rising earnings. Now, the forecasted data, not spectacular here. This is a utility company, probably pays a dividend. So if you want, a nice utility company, something a little bit less volatile, potential dividend payer, possibly look into the stock a little bit more. Here's a lithium mining company. Look, value on the decline, price action on the decline. Not what I like to see at all. So let's go to a year out. You can see price action still on the decline, even from a year if I extend it out. This stock here was close to $30, now trading at $4.98. You can see the stock was greatly overvalued, but now you're actually getting some value, negative earnings back then too. So not only are you getting undervalued position here, but you're also getting some positive earnings sentiment compared to just over a year ago. But look at the growth rate in earnings, long-term investment potential. So let's go to a 3-month graph here. We see the moving averages just became in our favor just a few trading sessions ago. Full body candlestick today. So I treat this more like a momentum play. And most likely you'll see some resistance coming in at the prior swing high here. at $5.96. So just see if we get any rejection or if we can get a clear break on this level of resistance. Here's another stock showing some early signs of a potential turnaround. We see value on the decline, price action on the decline. Not a big fan of that, but look at price action now, hitting a new swing high and a new swing low, hovering right around that 20-day EMA. Nice full body candlestick today. The stock does have rising forecasted earnings. And as far as the forecasted data, we've got earnings growth rate, sales growth rate, positive numbers, nothing spectacular, but nothing bad as well. And on top of that, the company greatly undervalued right now. We value the company at $58.94, currently trades at $45.42. So this might also be a great trade setup in the making. Now, I hope you enjoyed tonight's presentation. A little bit different, giving you a strategy out of the UniSearch part of the program in order to find potential fish or new stock candidates for your portfolio. Now, if you enjoyed the content, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel and you want to watch more, hit the subscribe button. And I will see you tomorrow evening. Good night.